Huh? Morgan? Morgan, why isn't some water getting on your butt? How come you ain't getting in the shower?
I don't know.
Why is the underwear on your head? You don't know. What up, Roundup? I'm honored to share with you tonight. I got some good stuff for you tonight. Sunday, March the 8th, as I get prepared to go to Dallas next week to meet Patrick Bet David at Valuetainment Roundup. Tomorrow I'm going to have I'm going to do a webinar just talking about him and the Valuetainment experience. I want to get some questions from y'all to ask Patrick. What's up?
Can you put my thing on?
For what thing? What about Mama?
My hair. Are you alive?
I am live. I want you to get up in the shower.
You have to delete this.
Turn around. Good Lord have mercy. Roundup, you see what I got to do?
It's already 8:40, huh?
It's late. It's daylight saving time.
No, it's not.
So get up in this.
You see, it's day night late, huh?
I want you in the shower. I want some water on that butt.
It already is.
Pray for me, Roundup.
And
Please.
it's called doo-doo water.
Better go. Pray for me, Roundup. Roundup family, greetings. This is Chris Haskins. My mission is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing. Tonight, how to calculate 50 cents into dollar deals. Brian, get your questions in on that box. What the heck wrong with you? Roundup tonight, my mission was just to share with you. I'm finally working on the book, the playbook. We're working on it, y'all. Oh, and Jesus, we're working on it. The Millionaire's Playbook. The Millionaire's Playbook. Oh, it's almost done. The Millionaire's Playbook. There is no other book like it. I'm so honored. Before I got Chris Burch in Q. I want to just read. This is a book I'm reading. You guys have got to get this. What makes the great great? Check this out. 4 questions to greatness. 4 questions to greatness. Roundup. As I sit here Sunday, I'm trying to get a little bit of relaxation, but I just keep getting pulled in. 4 questions to greatness. What would you do for free? And I'm working on, y'all, I'm going to have a mastermind I'm putting together. It's going to be done within the next few weeks. What would you do for free? What would you do for free if no one paid you? I'm going to tell you how I was successful in the music business when I had my sound company. I went and I worked for a local sound company in my area for free for months. I worked for them for free. I showed up whatever show they were doing. That's when I got an opportunity to meet Drew Hill. Showed up, I ran the sound, and I had a college degree. I didn't go in there like I'm the big bad sound guy, right? I went in there, I worked for the sound guy for free. Next thing you know, the man was giving me sound gigs. Next thing you know, my company was running the gigs. So I went out there, gave the Taylor, Morgan, can you come close my door? Help me, y'all. Pray for your boy. I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do tonight is let me show you my screen when Chris comes on. Check this out. This is what I'm going to share with you. You're going to see this. We're going to go over this mind map tonight. This mind map is so cool. This is what I'm going to share with you. This is what you got in store tonight. I'm going to share with you something called a mind map, the Millionaire Playbook, Chris Burch and Chris Haskins. That's coming up, okay? So you got to just bear with me for a minute as Chris, I'm waiting for Chris to come on. So you'll see that. Morgan, Taylor, pay all the bills. Can you close my door? Yes. Can you close my door? Cut the light off in your room so we're not draining the electricity. They don't pay no bills. I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go. Be ready for Chris Burch to get here. Number 1, what can you do for free? Number 2, what comes easy to you but difficult to others? What comes easy to you? So for me, it's my voice. My voice. What comes easy to me? Talking to people. It's one of the easiest things that I've ever been able to do. Why? Because my dad was a master communicator, taught me how to do that. 3, how do others view your talents and gifts? How do others view your talents and gifts? Do others view what you do hard or easy? For me, I know my skill is being able to buy a house without going to the bank. So I figured, is that something that people would think is hard or easy, right? A lot of people think that's hard. I happen to think that it's easy. And last, what do you love to do? What do you love to do, Roundup? If you love to do something, then it's not necessarily work, is it? How in the hell can a black man stay in bed in the morning when white men are ruling the world? So this guy interviews A.J. Gaston, Arthur Gaston. I mean, so much good stuff in this book, y'all. You got to get this one. Where is it at? I was just reading it. Chris didn't hear yet, y'all. Bear with me. Chris will be here in a minute. Oh, here we go. So he was doing this book, right? He was writing this book. Arthur Gaston, guy started from nothing. One of the first black billionaire, right? Started from nothing in the 8th grade education. He had at least 10 businesses, and his net worth was 50 million, right? Sat in office with Arthur Gaston. This is Dennis Kimbrough. He says Dennis Kimbrough is breaking down at this time, telling him how all his bills are adding up as he's writing Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. He said he's breaking down. He don't know if he can do it. He doesn't know if he can finish the book. His bills are piling up. Debts, creditors after him. This is what Arthur Gaston tells him. He goes, young man, don't tell me it's too hard. Great men and women must be tested in the laboratory of adversity. Fear not, young man. Continue to move forward. Greatness takes time. What you can do, you ought to do. But if you are satisfied to just get by, here's the kicker, y'all. Here's the kicker. Then step aside for the man or woman who isn't. Oh my Lord. So if you ain't willing to put in what my takeaway from this was, if you're not willing to put in the effort, the time, the discipline, I mean, the education, if you want to make yourself better, all you need to do is step aside for the next person that is. You know, it's crazy. Let's see what Chris is. Let's go over this mind map. Here's the mind map. I'm so excited to show you this. It's gonna blow your mind. Here's that mind map we're getting ready to go over. I didn't even know what a mind map was. Oh, did I not send him the link? My bad. Oops, sorry, Chris. Hold tight. Sorry, y'all. I thought I sent Chris the link. Maybe I didn't. Hold on. I thought I sent him the link. My bad, Chris. Forgive me for that one. Round up. So we'll be in Dallas March 16th. I'll send you the hotel information. We're going to be broadcasting live when I get there at the hotel right north Dallas to meet Patrick Bet-David at Valuetainment. I've got a list of questions. Oh my Lord. I've got so many questions. No doubt I've only got 45 minutes to an hour with the man. If you have some questions you'd like for me to ask Patrick Bet-David, please put them in the comment box. Comment. I'm going to go over that. And if you have, put them in the chat or the comment box so we can actually, I'm going to bring them up while I'm there. My bad, Chris. I thought I sent it to you already.
Nah, no worries.
Uh-oh. Can't hear you. Hold tight.
Hold on.
Oh, my goodness. Chris, chess 1, 2.
Yep, you got me?
Test 1, 2.
You got it?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Chris, I got an update on my computer yesterday, and my whole system's out of whack.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm blessed. Just trying to get a little bit of downtime before Monday hits. Not that Monday is a not
Monday's
that
an hour faster this weekend.
it is coming an hour faster.
Yeah.
Not that I love Monday. Matter of fact, I remember Monday used to be my most favorite day. Title companies and banks open up and they start processing loans again.
That's true. That's true. Monday's my new favorite day. Monday is my principal only mortgage payment day.
Tell me about that. I'm sorry, let me introduce you, Round Up Family. This is my boy, my entrepreneur friend, my partner. We talk probably every day just about business and just how life relates to it. Chris Burch, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Burch.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So since January 1st of this year, I've been strategizing for myself on getting certain things out of my life that I'm paying unnecessary fees for. The largest one is my personal mortgage. So go ahead.
You care to share what your total principal amount is, or is that too personal?
No, I can tell you. So my principal, interest, and tax and insurance total is about $1,650
a month.
Yep. But if you look at the amortization schedule that they don't want you to look at, for the last 3.5 years, it's front loaded, as all of them are, and it's about $980 of interest.
How much are your taxes and insurance of that $1,600?
Tax is about $60 or $70. I'm sorry, insurance is about $60 or $70, and the tax is about $250. I'm in DC. We got astronomical property taxes.
250 times 12, so you're about $3,000.
Yep, just over $3,000 a year in property tax.
That ain't too bad.
Mm-mm.
I'm paying I'm paying 2,200 here, Chris.
Okay.
You lucky with that, man.
Yeah, well, don't tell them about it.
Huh?
I said, don't tell the government about it. I mean, if that's good, I'm gonna keep it there.
Yeah, yours. Well, no doubt. I got probably 3 times the amount of land that you have up there. I don't know what you have.
Yeah. My house is only about 1,200 square feet, but it sits on about 4,000 square feet of property.
4,000 square foot?
It's a big yard. It's just under a quarter acre.
4,000?
4,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I got 4 times what you got here.
Exactly. Exactly. And that 4,000 square feet in the city is big.
Yeah, that's big. You can't even. Anyway, I want to put that in perspective for you, Roundup. I got 15,000 square feet here. You're paying more.
Mm-hmm.
Taxes on you.
We're paying more for what? 10 times less.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I know. But
anyway, so I think I owe 58,000 on mine.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought mine subject to the loans 8 years in when I got it. So
okay.
I'm not gonna pay this one off because it's not in my not in my name. What you're doing is smart, Chris. I want to get to this. Golden Butterfly wants to know, what is amortization, and do investors need to understand what that is? OM Jesus. OM Jesus.
Very much so.
You bet. Oh my God. Go, Chris.
I can break it down in the simplest terms. Amortization is the length of the loan. So my personal loan is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So I'm locked in at a fixed rate interest rate. So I have
Chris said interest rate, not payment.
I have a locked in interest rate. That is correct.
I just want people to know that you didn't say you have a locked in payment.
That is not correct. I have a locked-in interest rate. When my taxes and insurance increase, they then increase my monthly payment. They do it every October when they do the tax assessment on the property. Now I have even more of a note. So it's only been 3 years, and I was at, what was I at, 14, for about 1460 3 years ago. Yeah. And it's gone up almost 240, 250 in 3 years on my monthly. Yeah.
Round up. I don't see the myth is, I don't know if you were like me, Chris, when I got my mortgage, my first house, I'm like, I'm gonna pay this for 30 years.
I have friends who said, oh, you locked in at 3.87, you should ride that off into the sunset. And I'm like, no, because I'm looking at the amortization schedule, let's go back to that real quick. Yeah. So the amortization is on my 30-year mortgage, there is a certain amount that is withdrawn to pay the interest, and a certain amount of my payment comes out to pay the principal on the purchase price. So what the banks do, traditional banks, lenders will do, is they'll front load your payment with interest. So they're going to get as much of their money that they loaned out, they're going to get that back as fast as possible. So typically on a 30-year mortgage, you're paying more interest than you are principal for at least the first 15 years. So at least the first half of that loan.
Mm-hmm.
So my strategy is, if I'm going to be paying these high front-loaded interest rates, why can't I come up with a strategy to start knocking down the principal amount that I owe? So now I'm bringing principal back towards me, trying to bring it back towards me faster than I'm paying interest at it.
There we go.
So I did a little calculator and came up with a theory of what was a good amount per month that maybe I could pay towards it. And I broke it down into a weekly term. I said, you know what? Every Monday, no matter what, I'm going to go to the bank and pay $125 towards the principal only on my mortgage. So if you do the math of that, that's $500 a month. For me, that's not going to make or break my lifestyle. You know, $125 a week, I can handle that. But the key to what it did was, if you look at the calculation, it's going to knock out 10 years of interest payments on my 30-year mortgage.
Wow.
So that house, instead of paying interest for 30 years, I'm going to be paying interest for 20 years, but I'm knocking down the principal at the same time. I've now chopped off 10 years of interest payments.
Good for you, Chris.
Yep.
When did you decide to do this, my brother? And round up, we're going to get to the Mindmap and going over the Millionaire Playbook. When did you decide to do this?
Just the last year and a half. I've been doing some real estate investing, and I've been buying basically with cash. I've been buying it outright, 100% cash. So that means I have no note. I don't pay any interest on it. The only thing I'm responsible for while I hold that property is the taxes. So my mind said, well, wait a minute. How can I do something similar to my own house? So now I'm taking some of the profit that I'm doing in my regular business and in some real estate. I'm using some of those gains, those profits, to pay down my personal mortgage.
Good for you. I'm so excited for you, dog.
Well,
I'm telling you, know what's weird, Chris? When I started this, I think I started doing that maybe in 2010. I got married. Yeah, I started doing that in 2009. So it's been 10 years for me.
okay.
It's at the beginning, it seemed like you are at the bottom of Mount Everest.
Yeah, I guess you could feel that way. You're looking at this payment for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But what you're doing, Chris, I'm telling you, man, I'm on the backside of mine now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I just feel like this is what the wealthy do. It's what we do. This is what we do. You know, I have to kind of remind, like, are you going to do what the wealthy do or not?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we joke about it, and I say it lightly now. I haven't put a piece of property in my personal name in over 2 years now.
That's what we do.
There's no need to.
Wow, man. You walking it, dog. You walking it. Let's do this, brother. Well, the purpose of I wanted to reach out to you tonight, round up. Finally came in the mail. Oh, and Jesus. The Millionaire's Playbook. Chris, thanks for being a part of this part of my life, brother.
Yeah, man.
It's an honor working with you. Round up. So Chris and I, we're not gonna go over the whole thing, but I just wanted to. We're gonna do a full video on it. But as we're still working on it, I'd like to get your input as we go over the mind map. Chris, we'll go over the sections real quick. We don't have to get too deep into it, but I'd like to know if the Roundup family and even your entrepreneur family has any sections that they want to add in.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean that's the key thing is you and I spoke about it, Chris. The coolest part is this is going to be an evolving book. It's going to be an evolving strategy tool that we can all use. There's always something to add to it.
Wow. So Roundup, the backstory of this is when did I call you about this? Was it middle of January?
It was right around the first of the year.
First of the year.
Yeah.
You want to give them the story? Let me see your point of view on the story, how it came together, Chris.
So we were discussing some business transaction, and I said, "Well, hold on, let me grab my notebook." And I kind of said, "Oh shoot!" So I have a pickup truck and I got a Cherokee, and it was in the other vehicle. I was at the shop. The other vehicle was at home, and I said, "You know what? What do you use, Chris? What do you use like when you're out and about?" Because I had this big, 8.5 by 11 binder. It's great because I can put a ton of information in it, but I can't put it in my pocket. I can't take it with me. And you had something very similar to what we created, with the end result. And it was like, no, I got like 400 pages to write on. It goes in my back pocket. It's easy. It's got a hard cover. It doesn't get all damaged and wrinkled and chopped up. He said, you know what? We should put something together that we can use. And that was the birth of the discussion of originally it was like, let's create something that we can use.
So then we thought about the Roundup family. Like, you know what wouldn't it be cool if we just shared exactly what we're using with the world?
Yeah.
Roundup. My thing is this: be what you want to see in the universe. Create what you want to see in the universe. And Chris and I, we're going to go over the sections. I promise you, it's the questions that dictate your life. Let me ask you, Chris. In David Straker's book, he talks about how questions you can determine and you can control any conversation with the questions.
Without a doubt. I mean, I had a discussion just yesterday afternoon with a friend / client, and he was asking me what's the one thing that I have learned how to do? What is the one tool? And I actually did it today. And for me, the number one tool is implementation. Just do it. Just jump, do it. You can do it wrong. Even if you're brand new, it doesn't matter. Because even if you do it wrong, it's your first time. Who cares?
It's okay. Is it okay to mess something up, Chris?
If you don't mess something up, something's wrong with you. It's the Jim Rohn in me. His the best player in baseball. Bats a 300 average.
The best guy.
The absolute best, bats 300. But you gotta think about what that means. The best player in baseball only hits the ball 3 out of 10 times.
I love it.
And he is considered the best. He loses, fails, messes up, whatever you want to call it, 7 out of 10 times. And he's the best in the league.
It's funny you mentioned that, Chris. The book I'm reading says there is no failure, only feedback.
Wow.
What kind of feedback can you get from what you're doing?
Yep. That's good.
So Roundup. We don't have it. It's not ready, Chris. This is a work in progress. So it's going to have different sections and it's going to ask you the questions you need to know to dictate. From our experience, Chris has been in business since what year did you start, Chris?
We incorporated in 2004.
Well, so I started my LLC and incorporated to 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it since 2004.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 98 or 9, but as a structured business, 2004.
I love it too, Chris, because you can put it right in your back pocket. Oh, and you know what's weird? Let me ask you. For me, over the last few weeks when we were working on this, like I'll take a meeting, right? I'm like, fuck, I need that damn. I need that. I need the playbook.
Yeah.
I needed this like now. You know, it's like I can't. I almost can't wait.
Right. So I I have one for you. Let me grab it out of my pocket. So when we first talked about it, right? We were trying to come up with the size and the feel and the usage of it. So I have the opportunity because I'm in the print shop all day long of playing around with different ideas. So I created a simple little like paperback one,
Oh man.
and I tore it up, but I've been using this sucker
Oh man.
every day. I mean, it's got all my notes, it's got properties, a reminder, whatever, and I've been sticking it in my back pocket.
You so lucky. See Chris Roundup. Y'all don't know. Chris can just go in. He can cut the machine on and print his own Millionaire Playbook.
Make a book. Yep. Yep.
Let's go over this mind map real quick. Roundup. If you're just joining us and hanging out with serial entrepreneur Chris Burch. Chris, are you like reinventing yourself at this stage of your life? I've been meaning to ask you.
I don't think it's reinventing. I think it's starting to share who I am, what I've done, and what I can maybe help other people with.
Well, you didn't plan on doing that.
What's that?
You hadn't planned on doing that.
I hadn't. So it started with a bunch of coworkers, friends, other entrepreneurs saying, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube. You're not afraid to be on video and, talking about what you do?" No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of comes natural. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not hoping that you buy what I'm trying to pitch. I'm sharing with you what I do. If you want to follow along, let's go.
I love it. Roundup. So you're gonna have different sections. Chris, we talked about. Are we going to be able to make these sections to different sections a little more?
Each section is going to basically have a different color and a heavier texture, so that when you want to go to each different section, you can just flip.
Gotcha. Okay. Can we make this font? We can make it a little bigger too.
We can.
Cause shit, I know my Roundup homies. They can't. I can barely.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Let's do this. Roundup. So Chris and I, it's going to be a whole bunch of sections. We are authoring and editing, describing each section. Let me go ahead and bring this up. This is cool. Roundup. Chris, is this the first time you have? Let me ask you. Have you seen the mind map before?
I have. Well, so I am dating myself a little bit. We used to use, when I was doing a lot of record label promotion,
Mm-hmm.
when we wanted to document what we actually completed, we would create what was called a deck, or
oh my Lord.
Right. Yeah.
Deck.
A deck.
That's written in paper though, right?
We were digital. We were on, I don't know, PowerPoint or something, and we were inserting photos that we took and where the location, what event it was, and then send that deck back into Def Jam or whatever label at the time. Mm-hmm. And they would then review all the stuff that we did to promote that album, that whatever.
Yeah.
So no, it's been quite a while. The only thing I've ever used similar to a Mindmap is you can kind of do a slideshow presentation if you're presenting a product.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, like a PowerPoint, animated PowerPoint. I've done that stuff, but I'm a little more advanced than PowerPoint. So I'm actually, a lot of the stuff we do is for, the professional field. So we're, InDesign and Photoshop and whatnot.
I'm excited for you. Okay, Roundup. So here we go. Let me spur this. Can you see it pretty good, Chris?
Yeah, it looks good.
My thing is, I love thee. Oh, you know what? Before I get back, who asked me about this? Golden butterfly amortization. Mm-hmm. All it is the amount it takes you to pay off a loan, including interest. I didn't want them to miss that.
Yep.
Chris, I love the word "the." Like, how you got a hamburger, right?
Yeah.
Or a cheeseburger, but then you have the Fed workers You know, like Burger says, the cheeseburger.
Hmm.
Roundup. This is the Millionaire Playbook. Chris and I want to bring you over to, and you know, financial freedom, Chris, can be different for everybody. You know, for me, years ago, for me, financial freedom was 10,000 a month. You
Hmm.
know, as we move way beyond that, I'm like, you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in every month to be financially free. Chris, what's your take on that?
Not at all. I mean, if I could throw it off now, not including my business, but my personal life,
Yeah,
I could pay everything. Now I'm frugal too, but I could probably cover mortgage, car payment, insurance, blah blah blah. Less than five a month, less than 5,000.
good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, round up. So the Millionaire Playbook. Here we go. Here's a mind map. This has been days with Chris and I have put this stuff together, and I'm going to just give you a brief one. And this is just the purpose of this video tonight was just to ask you if you could round up after you watch this, just tell us what sections you would like for us to include in this Millionaire's Playbook, and Chris and I will go over that together and see if it's applicable.
Yeah.
So the first one was introduction. Who we are, why we created this. So I'm gonna do my little take, Chris. You know, I just wanted
Yep.
to just share what helped me over time,
Yep.
and I promise you, each and every millionaire I know, they have a booklet. Chris,
Without a doubt. I've heard you mention it about other speakers. I've seen guys in a big time conference meeting pull out a pen and write it right on their hand.
mm-hmm.
They didn't have it, whatever tools with them, and they don't want to forget that, and they write it down.
Write it down.
Yeah.
And even like you said, Jim Rohn says, man, I think, you know, I do love my technology, but something about the action of taking your hand, putting it to paper, Chris, and just that connection.
What's the same thing you mentioned with the book that you just printed? It takes up real estate in your life. It's a physical, you can hold it, you can go back to it and reference it.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself, especially now with a lot of technology, phones and everything else, if I'm looking for something on, let's just say YouTube, we're on YouTube now, right?
Yeah.
That darn column on the right distracts me into something else that I wasn't looking for, and I'm spinning. I went there for a purpose, and that damn column on the right said, "Oh, other people like this," and I'm now distracted, clicking on that, and then spinning off into nowhere. I can't do that with my book because I'm only writing down what I need to digest and then duplicate.
One thing, right?
Yep.
One thing. You're right. When you're at that device, man, it's almost like you're predator for anybody that wants to prey on you.
Yep.
Okay, the next section, and we haven't put them in order yet. Networking. People I want to meet, places I want to go, clubs I want to join. I know for me, Chris, I'm thinking back over my career. I wish I would have had a concise vision of these people. Well, I mean, I do it now, but I'm like before. Like I want to meet boom, 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 boom. I want to join boom, boom, boom. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I would agree. I never really aspired to be like the world's greatest printer / real estate investor. It morphed. You and I talked about it, a year ago, I think, on one of your on your YouTube channel. It became a business. I was out promoting and throwing events and promoting parties and groups and bands and everything, and then started designing my own, and it then transformed. So it was never a plan. I think some people almost spend too much time focusing on it has to be this way, it has to be that way. No, it doesn't. And this book, just the last month and a half, I've had that little, crappy copy in my pocket. I can go back and reference it in seconds.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, next section, taxes. You really helped me with this. You know what's weird, man? Not till recently, Chris, that I really thought about. I was listening to Patrick Bet-David talk about the wealthy. They make it their business to have a tax plan.
Yep.
And I'm like, as I'm trying to create income, I'm like, man, I just try to make money. I don't know about none of that tax. I just try to make money. Now I'm like, Chris, you have so much of it. It's like, all right, you know, Uncle Sam is just waiting.
Yep. And it's not
But you-
that we as an entrepreneur are trying to avoid or anything of the sort. It's the wealthy structure it before they start the project. They set it up to know how they spend the money, how it's then treated when they return the gain or profit, how that is then taxed. So they structure it first.
Mhm. I want to say thank you for that book you sent me to with Mark.
Yep. This guy's a beast, man.
Yeah, I gotta get it. You helped me. I converted thanks to you. I'm now a S. I think I'm an S.
It's been an S election. Yep.
S selection. That's right.
Yep.
So, but I think that's something that is by design, as opposed to just having an LLC and having it all pass through to your social security number.
Mm-hmm.
You really would like, Chris, maybe you could have only some of it go through to your social security number and have the other part taxed differently.
Yeah. I mean, and for you the same. You shared with me, which I didn't know until a year and a half ago. Self-directed IRA.
As well.
My dumb butt sitting over there listening to some custodian at one of these big firms who's over there moving here, moving there, just charging me transaction fees up the yin yang. And I'm like, no, I could direct it into the stuff that makes sense to me.
And that you understand.
And that I understand. Yeah.
See, I think with you're a real estate guy, so self-directed self-directed investing will work for you.
Yep.
It won't work for everybody.
It won't.
All right, goals. I love this financial goals, and reading the book Think and Grow Rich. One of the sections, each one of these sections is going to have the majority of the book is blank, but Chris and I put a lot of content in it that we're explaining the sections and how they work for us. But these questions you have to ask yourself. I promise you have to ask yourself, how much money do I want to earn this week, this month, this year?
Mm-hmm. Well,
what are some other ways? And this is what Chris, I don't know if I told you this, but what are some other ways that I can make money?
yep.
This is what brought me to YouTube, my brother.
There you go. You're already doing it. Why not share it?
Why not share?
Mm-hmm.
What are the opportunities? Okay, section. We don't have names for these yet. What do I need to stop doing? This came about after I had that interview with Ron LeGrand.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to stop doing to cut out?
Yep.
So y'all can go over that stuff, on your leisure. Spiritual goals, Chris, and this is not, this is you can be a Muslim, Christian, Buddhist. This is not religion specific.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out what you're gonna give.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think spiritual is the right title, but it could even reference what are you willing to share? What are you willing to give? What are you willing to donate? Is it your time? Is it money? Is it whatever? I mean, each of you will all have your own reasons.
So I just changed that, Chris, to spiritual and giving goals.
Yep.
Glad you saw that.
Yep.
Skills. Round up. Each of us has a specific set of skills. Just like I'm telling you, iron sharpens iron. That's why Chris is like my blade. He sharpens my blade, right? So we want to be the blade sharpener for you with this Millionaire Playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have skills now that you need to hone, and then perhaps some new skills that you need to learn. I know Chris. I can watch Chris in action. He's learning this internet thing. I can see him learning new skills as he creates his YouTube channel.
Yep. And I'm having fun with it. I mean, that's the cool part, I'm already, I'm same way you just said, another way to, make money was creating your channel and then, building it to a point where you can monetize it. I know that wasn't your initial goal. Your initial goal was, I want to show people what I'm doing, right? I went way back into your catalog on your channel, and you're showing new construction, you're showing house flipping, all these things that you're sharing with people. And it's like, hey, if you want to do what I'm doing, just reach out to me, I'd love to show you, you know, and then you bring it to the point where you can't handle half of it now, and it's kind of like, all right, well, now you need to schedule a consultation because I only have so many hours in the day to do all this stuff.
That's right.
You know?
That's
But
right.
like what you said with the knife sharpening, I feel it when I talk to you and other people. I think you feel the same way. I can hear you think about what I ask you. And when you call me and ask me about something, I'm sure you can hear me thinking, saying, okay, yeah, I've been in this scenario before. That's what I did. Let me add in all the variables of Chris's question. And you're getting valuable information passed back and forth all the time.
You're saying that as opposed to saying me, me, me. Is that what? Are you going there with that?
Without a doubt. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to learn a whole lot of stuff sitting in there by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could read 1 million books and watch 10 million videos. But as I said earlier, my word of the day today is implementation. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do it.
All right. Next section roundup was what is it? Skills.
Yeah.
Things I need to do. I know Chris has a book. We both had books in the past of just a to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned from Ron LeGrand was you need to have specific sections of things I need to do now,
Mm-hmm.
and things that can wait, and things other people need to do, and other things that I can do to start, and other people fit. So many different to-do lists that you have to put, and they shouldn't all go in the same level of urgency.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So some of the things round up, you'll start, and then somebody else will finish. I just think that is so genius. I can't take credit for that.
Yeah. It is.
Well,
It is.
Section, okay, define. All right, define my vision for the future. What am I taking? Why am I taking notes? What am I taking notes for?
Mm-hmm.
So we either have to have some type of product or some type of service. I think Chris, you have both.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously you create products, but your product. Well, go ahead, explain it, Chris. When you do create products, your
Mm-hmm.
service is printing, but the service provides the product.
Correct. And a lot of people kind of misconstrue the difference between the two. I could sell products all day, but if I'm not providing good service, they can go anywhere that prints it.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I've always felt that I had a customer actually argue with me one time. You would be nothing without us. And my response was, you're 100% right, because you are the people that pay for the service and the product we provide. I would be nothing without the customer. You're right.
Me too. Me too. But Chris, I'm thinking about as the new entrepreneur receives their playbook in the mail, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
that they may not have. Like, you know, you have your business set up and you know what products and services you deliver. So do I.
Right.
This
That might be some of the first things that they want to start to do is talk to a certified professional to set up their LLC. You know, go down to, once you get the LLC set up, go ahead and file to get your federal EIN number. Take that then down to your bank and then open your bank business account. You know, put $100 in it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think those could be the real initial goals. And then I think everybody should be able to fill up the section of what do I want and when do I want it. And that's going to go along with progression. That's going to be every day sometimes. It's going to be once a month sometimes. But you keep adding to it, you know, and it's in that same book. All you're doing is retracting a few pages before and then referencing what you were going to do, what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I think this is more of a guide, not a read one time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, come around here and get the dog. Hold on a second.
Are you doing a webinar?
I am.
No.
You can get the dog after she goes to pee-pee.
Go with Daddy's bathroom. I want to brush my teeth.
Brush the teeth anywhere. I don't care. Sorry.
Mine?
2 minutes will be done.
You already saw.
Chris, what are we going to, like, you know what you're going to give up. You know what you give in exchange for the money. Some
Mhm.
people don't know that. So this section here, I wanted to say, listen, this is what product or service I'll trade in exchange for the money that I'm asking for.
Yep.
Chris, what made you get into the printing?
So I was in the promotion business, out all night passing out postcards and flyers, talking about the next show, whatnot. Learned piece by piece how to kind of design my own stuff, the kind of look that I wanted for the events we were doing. And it just morphed into a business. I started doing other promoters' work. I was sending the jobs to a local printer. It kind of transmorphed into a business. I had a buddy who was getting ready to close down his storefront, and he was like, the rent's really cheap. Why don't you just move in and see if you can make that, like your little home office for a while? And it turned into a business.
Can you put that in the, here's, we got the text here, right?
Mhm.
Can you add that here, Chris?
Sure. No.
I think we still got to get your side on that anyway.
Okay. Definitely.
I think it would be important for me, and I would like to know how
Yeah.
the hell did Chris get into doing printing?
Yeah.
All right, round up. Last one, is our favorite. I'm not even gonna get into that. Real estate addresses you're looking for. Chris and I both just put that speaks for itself. And that's it. Round up. Where is it at? I am busting at the seams to get this thing done.
Mhm.
What do you think? We got another 2 more weeks?
Probably at most, yeah. Probably at most. I think I'll have most of my stuff finished probably by midweek.
Okay.
I know I have 5 of the sections done.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Around up, Chris and I we're grinding. It's so crazy how both of us run full businesses and we yet have the time to create another product. I just think it's in our blood, man. Or not just us, just the entrepreneur's blood
Mm-hmm.
to just create.
Yeah. I mean, we're already doing it, right? So we're not reinventing anything.
Mm-mm.
We're now crunching down the key things that we already do, sharing more value to all of you guys of what we do and how we do it,
Yeah.
and providing you a tool that we already use.
Man, I wish I had this. Let me ask you, Chris. Do you wish you had something like this when you were kind of getting cranking starting out?
I do, but I have to remind myself what direction was I actually trying to go. Right.
What you mean?
So the print business turned into a business. It was never a goal. So it would have never made it into that book. Maybe starting a business would have, but then I would then have to retract and specify, because of course it would have started out club promoter, concert promoter, event coordinator, all those things would have been in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have flipped 50 pages later and saw how it then transformed into, wow, I need to set up this business entity because more and more people are coming to me for these print items and all these other things. So
Yeah.
but I think it's great.
It's in the walls. It's the plumbing in the walls.
What's up, Bubba?
Good.
How are you?
Good.
Morgan, I'm coming. I'll be done in 1 minute. Round up. We had one quick question. Yeah, Brian wants to do a video on how to calculate 65% ARV. We can both do that. Chris can do that on his channel if he wants to also.
Yeah.
I'll do that too.
Yep.
Can't do that without a whiteboard though.
Yeah.
You can, but shit, I won't.
You can, but you're going to be explaining it. It's
I ain't doing that.
difficult. It's a visual.
Melanated goddess. Wow, that's interesting. Do you have your various businesses being related or interconnected, or should one's business be in various industries? What do you think, Chris?
I think it's personal preference.
Yeah.
I have multiple businesses, but each entity operates as its own. They piggyback off each other, but they're set up on a business and a tax structure as separate entities.
Yeah, for me, I've got one for flips, one for rentals, That's it. Yeah, flips and rentals. My internet stuff goes into my flips because flip is considered active.
Right. It's different as we were just talking about, Mark. It's different income, so you got to keep that stuff. It's taxed differently, so just keep it separate.
Customer service. What book? I don't remember Mark's last name. What is his last name?
Kohler, Mark Kohler.
I think I keep it on.
My backpack.
Yeah.
You travel.
I can't find it. What's the name of the book, Chris? I can't remember the name of it.
Let me grab it. I have it right here.
All right. Can you think of my Bible? In my other book?
This one?
Yeah. Thanks, Lola.
What's that?
It's my Kindle. It's an ebook. I'm good. Thanks.
There you go.
The Tax and Legal Playbook. Okay.
He doesn't have that one.
I do have. He gave it to me. New
Where
Zealand.
is it?
Hey, PE. I can't find it. Oh, it might be. It's in here somewhere.
Is it on here?
No, it's in there. Robel. Oil prices crashing as we speak. 10-year treasury recession. Liquidity. I don't know. You know, it's weird, man. Rents are still due. Chris, what do you think about the crash? I don't know.
You gotta live somewhere, and I'm pretty sure you gotta. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure. No, I'm saying someone's gonna pay rent. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure something's gonna happen, but shit, man. Have you watched the news, Chris? I don't even watch the news.
Nope, not at all.
I love it, man. That's one of my questions to ask Patrick Bet David. Does he watch the news? All right, Chris. Anything else you want to leave about the playbook? And I'm done with you, my brother.
No, man, I'm good.
Okay. Round the family. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not sure how we're gonna do Monday Masters, but I'm waiting for a confirmation from one of my lenders to get back on tomorrow. All right, Chris. I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
Cool, man. See ya.
Round the family. Look out in the next few weeks with Chris and I. We have the Millionaire Playbook ready for you. And are we gonna give him a T-shirt too, Chris?
Yep.
So we'll decide what to go in front of that as the weeks come.
Oh, Daddy.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Right. Subscribe, like the content. Oh, matter of fact, I'd like to know what sections, Roundup. What sections in this mind map? That's what I forgot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Roundup, if you could, let me show you one more time. What sections would you like to see added on the Millionaire Playbook? I showed you all the sections that we did. What sections would you like to see added in the green to the Millionaire Playbook that will help bring you to financial freedom? And don't forget, for me, Chris, financial freedom I thought it was a destination. Like I thought when I had my real estate paid off, I'd be there. But now I look at it, Chris, man, that was just the beginning for me.
Well, I mean, you can also, your goal might be to make a whole bunch and stack it up, but what are you going to do with it? You know, you're going to travel, you're going to do stuff with it.
Help people, right?
Right. Exactly.
Habits, Nicole, that's a good one. Maybe we should incorporate. Hey, Nicole. She's saying maybe habits. Maybe we'll consider that one, Chris.
Yeah.
That's a good one too, man. Habits they're gonna make or break you.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true.
We could probably go over some habits that we've changed over the years, Chris.
Oh yeah, I mean, probably go over what I've changed in the last month. You know? Certain things as you grow and you start reflecting, and I think actually YouTube has actually helped with it as far as me starting a channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now able to think about it, process it, because I don't want to just be on there, Mr. Entertainment guy. I want to provide value. So I have to think about what is wanted. What can I share that's going to add value?
Yeah. I think we'll do that, Nicole. Let me bring this up real quick. Let me show you this, Chris. As I'm looking at the mind map, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can incorporate here instead of what do I need to stop doing or cut out? What habits do I need to stop?
Yep.
That's a good one, Nicole.
Yep.
That's a good one. I'm glad we did this, man. We were thinking about doing this, y'all. It's a good one. Okay, Roundup, put your comments, please. What section would you like to see in the playbook? The Millionaire's Playbook. And we'll see you soon.
Yep.
All right, Roundup. Peace.
See ya.